your favorite teacher ever turn out to be a total monster? Back in middle school, I was the scrawny kid named Benjamin who got picked on nonstop. I wasn't into sports or anything cool. Just buried in books and trying to avoid the hallways where the jocks ruled. Our social studies teacher, Mr. Hargrove, was the king of cool in everyone's eyes. Tall, kinda handsome in that older guy way, always cracking jokes that made the popular crowd laugh. He coached the basketball team after school and had this thing for the athletes, especially the star players like Ryan and Mason. They'd high-five him in class, and he'd let them slide on homework or even join in when they messed with us nerds. I remember one time in 7th grade, Ryan, blonde hair, captain of everything, tripped me in the aisle while I was carrying my tray in the cafeteria line that spilled over from class vibes. Everyone laughed, including Mr. Hargrove, who was supervising lunch that day. He just smirked and said, "Watch your step, Benny boy," like it was my fault. Stuff like that happened all the time in his room. If you weren't one of his favorites, you were invisible or worse, a target. He'd ignore the bullying or hell, he'd egg it on, call out the quiet kids for wrong answers on purpose, then let the class roast us while he chuckled. The tutoring thing was weird from the start. Mr. Hargrove offered extra help sessions at his house for the popular boys who were supposedly struggling, though half of them were straight A in everything else. Ryan bragged about it once, saying he went over a few times a week for history projects. The rest of us whispered about it in the lockers. He's gotta be a creep, I'd mutter to my friend Daniel, another outcast who sat behind me. We'd heard rumors, nothing solid, but the way Mr. Hargrove looked at those kids sometimes, lingering hugs after games, inviting them to his place for pizza and study sessions. Everyone thought he was a child molester, straight up, but say that out loud? Forget it. The popular boys like Mason and Liam would corner you in the bathroom and threaten to beat your ass if they heard you talking shit about Coach H. I kept my head down, dodged the worst of it by eating lunch in the library. Daniel and I would vent about how unfair it was. The school let this guy run wild, because he brought in trophies or whatever. The principal turned a blind eye. Parents of the athletes loved him. One girl, Chloe, tried complaining once after he made a gross comment about her skirt. In class, nothing happened. She transferred out mid-year. Summer before 8th grade was boring as hell, video games, avoiding the park where the jocks hung out. Then school starts and boom, Mr. Hargrove's gone. No announcement, just a sub in his room who wouldn't say shit. His desk cleared out, posters gone. Weird, but I figured he quit or got fired for something minor. The popular crew acted normal at first, high-fiving in the halls like always. But then Ryan vanishes too. Kid was everywhere, basketball star, class clown, dated the hottest girls. One day he's there, next he's not. Rumors fly. Family moved, sick grandma, whatever. Turns out he transferred to this fancy-ass private academy across the state, the kind where tuition's like college levels. Insanely expensive. Gated campus, the works. No one from our crappy public school could afford that. Weeks pass, and the whispers get louder. Daniel pulls me aside after gym. "Dude, you hear? Ryan's dad sued the district." I laughed it off at first. Sue for what? Bad grades? But no. It all came out in bits from kids whose parents knew lawyers or worked in the office. Mr. Hargrove had been molesting Ryan during those tutoring sessions at his house, several times over months. Ryan finally broke down and told his parents after the last one. They confronted the school, threatened to go public, cops, media, the whole deal. District panicked. Didn't want the scandal blowing up their precious sports program. So they cut a deal. Pay for Ryan's full ride to that private school. Hush money basically. NDA for the family. Mr. Hargrove? Quietly fired, probably blacklisted, but who knows, he vanished too. No charges, no news story. Just poof. I sat there in shock when Daniel spilled it, piecing together all the red flags we'd ignored. The favoritism, the private invites, the threats to keep quiet. Ryan wasn't just a victim. He'd been part of enforcing the silence because he was groomed into it. The other popular boys, some knew, some didn't, but they all protected their coach. Mason admitted later in a group chat leak that he'd suspected but stayed loyal for the team. School tried to act normal after new teacher, anti-bullying assemblies that felt fake. But us unpopular kids, we felt vindicated in a sick way. All those times we whispered creep and got shut down. Ryan never came back, and the district buried it deep.